beautiful.
Dude, I mean, yeah, it's cool. It's really cool. I mean, again, maybe back to that football coach thing, but it's fucking really cool to sit down with you like this, man, and see you like this, and like, because it always was a little bit for me, again, I felt so like protected, and I always felt loved by you. I always felt like even just like you choosing me was just such a huge thing for me, man. I took it so seriously. It was such a miracle in my life, and like getting to do that. But I also like, and I didn't know whether it was the movie or not, but I always felt like, man, like, there was always this thing, like, you could never really get in, never really open up. There, like, it was either like he's the boss man, he's a fucking gangster, like he's a real gangster, like the way he handles himself. Like I'd seen that, but I also this unbelievable ability to like break people down and open them up and like and talk about the most intricate. Yeah. And most like no filmmaker, no artist I've ever worked with has been able to like, play people's fucking chords of the most intricate, every ounce of the pain, where the pain and the darkness is like just as beautiful as it is dark, and like so fascinated by it, but yet so like you ain't gonna get there with me. And I see like, and you and just talk just a little bit, man, and we don't have to go, but like just a little bit about Kev and just because he I think he means just like a ton to everyone in this room. And like, you brought Kevin into my life, but like, who is Kevin to you, and like the work that you guys have done? And
Kevin Vance. Known him a minute, met him in a parallel life, and watching him transform, because like when I met him, he was just in it.
Yeah.
Like, and he had that, hangover of like the military. I mean, the secret to the military is like a handful of people do all the work, right? So it's like, oh, we have all these army divisions. Well, they're kind of just holding security on the edge at the end of the day, while, this handful of very highly trained, amazing people kind of gets it done at incredible moral hazard, blowback, cost to self. And he was like one of the first people I met from that community. And it's so funny because when I met him, he was like solidly in the community and solidly in that identity. I am an elite operator. That is who I am.
Yeah.
And he evolved out of that and didn't need that to be his identity, and then went on this healing journey and started helping people like right, left, and center, and was really a fucking pioneer now. Yeah. And now he's out there like trying to save lives.
Fuck yeah.
Rescuing people, because these dudes in these communities, they take so much trauma on our behalf, massive amounts of trauma, and they do really dark things on our behalf. And that whole warrior culture has its own thing going on. And it's not a safe space to like be vulnerable and talk about your heart. And okay, here you are whacking people out, and now you're vulnerable and talking about your heart, And I've seen it in the gang world too, where the homies are like becoming conscious, and like we used to be cavemen back in the day.
Up.
Cavemen.
Straight up.
And now it's like, oh, we're humans and we have this holistic life and can impact people. And there's something about people that have seen that extreme violence and lived in it and been around it that pushes them closer towards a bigger human truth. And they bring that back into regular life. And that's why I've always connected with that, because I felt like they're in the real world and everyone else is in the fake world.
Fucking A, bro. I mean, I honestly, I think that more than anything else is why like I'm trying to do this, because it's like, look, if I can have, like, if you say that and like Kevin says that, it's like everybody else in their life can like stop hiding behind all this shit. It's like, look at who's saying it, dude. And it's like, look at the potential. Like, I know you've been through it, but like, look at the potential for light. Look at what you can create. Look at how you can serve,
Like that's it right there is how do you serve? And I'm wrestling my journey right now at the moment. It's just like, am I worthy of serving, And it's like, okay, track record, these movies impact these communities, have helped people. Okay, there's evidence there that I am worthy to serve.
I would say so, bro.
I just got to figure it out. But like, everything's ego, like ego and trauma and pain and how you shape your personality to not feel the pain, you know? And it's like, I don't know, man, you know, like the homies, fucking gangsters, right? Like typically they're smart as fuck. They're like rounded people, like they see the world in a different way. They have this specialized knowledge about life and people, and there's a deep truth that they find, and especially the survivors in that space, and like the guys that fucking hang, and that energy, you know, like there's something beautiful to it. And then if you can get away from all the fucking woo, I'm fucking this, I'm that. Oh, okay. How do I help the young guns? How do I help these families? How do I, like, when people are talking about trauma and shit that's happening to them when no one ever did before, which is amazing. But like, it's self-rescue. All these communities have to self-rescue, right? Because right now, you know, the way our society is, you know, it's the opposite of cohesion. It's the opposite of unity. It's the opposite of coming together. So like all these communities have to self-rescue. There's so many fucking agendas, but if you can just human connection and like, I don't know, like if I got whacked out on the streets when I was like 18 doing dumb shit, right? Like there wouldn't be these movies that have left a positive impact. And it's like, for all my like, oh, I'm a bad guy, I'm a piece of shit, and I hate myself, and blah, blah, blah. I got it. That's objective. That's value in that. That means I brought something of value to this world. And yeah, man, like if we can just get out of these negative self stories and stop doing that in all these communities and just hunt down these negative narratives that are just tying us to the ground, like that's the way to do it.
You talk about your own negative bullshit and the shit that's like your own negative to self story. Believe me, I know it so fucking well. Yeah. But then the first thing you said to like from this omnipresent fucking view, when you look at it, yeah, but look at these things on the board that like I know like have helped people or changed people, right? It's like I go through that same shit. So in this national or international whatever, in this state that we are right now, what role does art play in rescue?
Art's a nuclear weapon. Art is so ridiculously fucking powerful. The most powerful medium is film, right? You have acting, you have directing, you have music, you have art, visual arts. Yeah. You know, it's a collaboration of multiple artistic mediums creating this illusion of reality, right? And you know, it's like when I saw Scarface for the first time, it must have been like 9 or something, you know. And for my world at the time, it was like there's a bigger, more important world. There's a lot more going on than you knew, and people come in a lot different shapes and varieties and abilities and then you knew, and it was just like this keyhole into this world, right? And that's one of the reasons why art is so controlled, why the industry is so controlled, why everything is so incredibly gate kept, because God forbid, man, this piece of primordial magic leak through the system and transform the world. Like I believe that you can create something that can transform the world instantly. Like it's that powerful. It's that powerful. And that terrifies the gatekeepers and terrifies people that want these negative narratives about ourselves to be out there, you know?
And want control of it for themselves and want to be the only ones that do it. They say more shit.
I mean, I don't know. How's the world really work, right? Is it about money or is it not about money? You know what I mean? And who has the money? Who has the violence? Who has a monopoly on violence? Who controls violence? Like, what is this world? What is this society? It's a for-profit corporate fucking machine, man. It is what it is, you know? How do you find humanity inside of that? How do you know? And I believe that human beings are incredibly capable. Like one of us can change the world. And imagine if we all got together and started co-creating a positive reality together, like how transformative that would be. But if my entire wealth, if my generational wealth is based upon you know, keeping you nervous so you make a consumer choice and buy my product to satisfy that emptiness in your soul. Last thing I fucking want is some sort of like mass self-realization and rising up of humanity.
Right.
Fuck that, man.
Right.
I want to smash you motherfuckers and shake you upside down, get all your money.
Yeah. Hey, what's going on, everybody? It's John and Bam Bam the dog. First, on behalf of both of us and everybody from the Real Ones team, I just want to sincerely thank you guys for tuning in. The folks that I bring on the show, they're family to me, and being able to tell their stories and bringing you into their world is something I'm just super proud of, and again, grateful that you guys tune in. We've decided we want to take things just a step further. It's a Patreon community. And basically what that means is if you become part of this community, look, I already bored Bam Bam. If you want to become a part of this community, you're going to be able to hear episodes early and all that, ad-free and all that good stuff. But there's all this behind-the-scenes footage, all this stuff that we've shot that really brings you into the folks that we've had on the show, really brings you into their world. Live chats with me and the folks that I bring on the show to talk about their world, talk about the issues that they're dealing with, about their triumphs and their tragedies. Just go to Patreon/RealOnes on this website that you see right there, right on the screen, that's right in front of you. This whole idea was something about building bridges and bringing people together and bringing folks that often don't get the mic and giving the mic to them. So the fact that you guys tune in means the world. Anyways, again, thank you. Be good to each other out there. Rock and roll.